Hi, folks. We're back for episode 3 of the Realtor Advantage with John Petkanas, your RE/MAX Alliance Realtor. With me, as always, is my managing broker, Steve.Zeris. And episode 3, if you guys will recall, will be about preparing your home for its best possible showing. And again, nobody better in the business than my dear friend, Steve.Zeris.
Thank you, John. Actually, we're going to be talking about how do you prepare your house for sale, which also could be for an open house, but a lot of this will have already been done if you're at that point where you're going to have an open house. So actually, John, we got a couple of fun topics on this list. What I did was I looked at Realtor.com and I said, okay, what are the main things that we need to do to prepare a house to sell? And they have their top 12. So we're going to go through their top 12. We're going to go to fast pace. I'll give you some examples. But the very first thing you need to do is find a great real estate agent. And I emphasize the word great. You want to make sure that they know what they're doing. You want to make sure that they have a track record. Ask them for some of their history. Does anybody know them that you know? Can you get a reference? And I think that's pretty important, wouldn't you?
Somebody with a critical eye, again, because the owner has his own or her own biases, whether they know it or not.
That's right.
Somebody who's got a critical eye for this thing that will be able to deliver the best possible image.
That's right. And some of you may not like what I'm going to say now, but a realtor that's going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that's very important. Number 2 is consider your curb appeal. I can't tell you how many times we go to a house and from the street, there's a lot of debris in the driveway. There's a car up on blocks maybe, or they have the garbage cans in the front. The fence is falling apart on the side of the house. The shrubs need to be trimmed. I mean, the list goes on. So what you want to do is you want to stand in front of your house and look at it with no emotion because you want to make like you're a potential buyer looking at your house.
And ask yourself, would I want to buy this place?
Exactly. Declutter your living area. Now, it's okay for a house to look lived in, but if it looks like you're what's the right term, a hoarder, you don't want to give that impression because people will walk in your house and are not going to feel comfortable because the one thing you want every potential buyer to do is visualize their belongings and pictures in your house.
Well, they're going to look at the outside, and if it's disheveled, they're going to think, my God, if it's like this on the outside, what's waiting for me on the inside?
Yes, well, and then, of course, when you get on the inside, that's where a lot of your decluttering comes in because a lot of folks have a lot of things. And
a lot of people have that one room that's the de facto storage.
It could be, yes.
And it could be a lifetime worth of memories, which are clearly critical to them.
Yeah.
But a prospective buyer isn't going to want to see that when they come through.
And then another point is depersonalize your space. If you have a lot of personal things and a lot of pictures, we want to pack those for a couple of reasons. Number 1, we want a potential buyer to see or visualize their pictures on the walls. The other thing is safety. Let's say it's a single mom with 2 young kids. We don't want people to know that there's a single mom with 2 young kids living there. You don't want
that Student of the Month award from, PS whatever.
Yes.
And now, listen, these are strange times we're living in.
Exactly. So just be safe and remove anything that might be personal. And then the next thing you want to do is repaint walls. How do the walls look? I've been in houses where there's crayon drawings all over the walls. There's spots on the walls that they look like they haven't been painted in years. And of course, paint is not really expensive. When you paint a house, most of the cost is your time, not necessarily the paint. So look at your house, determine, hey, do I need to put a fresh coat of paint? Especially the woodwork. Some of the woodwork hasn't been painted in so long it's peeling.
I was just going to say an easy fix for a quick coat of like Pledge on woodwork does wonders. Doesn't take but a minute. Same thing with the windows with that crusted on stuff. Just give them a blast of Windex. It works.
It does.
Remember, you're not looking for perfection here. You just want to jazz it up.
It does. And then scuff marks. We all see that on woodworks, especially in the hallways. You're going up the stairs. And just either give it a quick fresh coat of paint or, clean it up. I know my wife loves that Mr. Clean white sponge.
Works wonders.
Yeah, and I'm surprised she doesn't use that on me sometimes. I mean, she loves that sponge.
Or if you're dealing with, say, a ceramic floor or tile floor, that 20-year-old thing of bubble gum, scrape it off.
Yes. Another thing you want to do is tighten up all of the doorknobs. If there's a banister, you want to tighten that up. Make sure nothing is loose because it just doesn't look good. if somebody grabs a doorknob and it almost falls off. Add some plants. What about fake plants? I mean, we've got one over here in this room. I mean, add a couple of plants or fake trees. It gives a nice warm feeling, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It just feels good. I think my wife, in about 3 different areas of my house, we have they call them, I guess, snake plants.
Yep, beautiful.
She loves
low
them.
Maintenance, easy peasy.
Yes.
And ambient lighting too. I mean, how many times have we been to a place and there's just not enough light?
That's right.
To photograph, much less to, and there's a safety factor there too as well.
Yeah. This one is kind of funny, but it's actually very important, and that is conduct a smell test. Yes.
Especially for you pet owners or smokers.
Notice the timing right when he was taking a sip of his coffee.
He was trying to get me to, no, I know.
Conduct a smell test. A lot of houses we walk into, they have a very odd odor, or it might be a mildew smell. We want a nice smell. We don't want to smell bleach.
No, we don't smell maybe like those
candle,
plug-ins or something, or a Yankee candle or something.
But really nothing is best, because then they can smell the quality of the air.
Well, as long as it passes the sniff test, right?
Exactly. So the smell test is very, very important. And when you've been in a business, as long as I have, you've run into your share of houses that have some very foul odors in them. Now, we've heard of real estate. It's location, location, location.
Yes, sir.
Now the next one is clean, clean, clean. We want to make sure that your house is clean, and I keep saying house, that also means condo, villa, townhouse, whatever you're selling. But make sure you've cleaned it. Make sure that the tubs, the bathrooms, the kitchen, everything. And people will run their hand on the countertop and all and see if it feels clean.
I've seen people do the white glove test over the tops of the doors.
Yep.
So yeah, absolutely.
In other words, hide your valuables. Make sure you hide your valuables. Keep them in a safe. Remove them. Take them to the safety deposit box. Whatever you have to do, don't leave valuables out.
Put them in a sock and take them with you if you have to.
Yes. 99.999% of the people have good intentions, but you might hit that one bad apple that sees something and they're tempted. We don't want to put you into that position. Okay. The last, which would be the 12th point through this list, through Realtor.com, is to consider staging. Now, staging is very valuable in many areas, and it does work. If you have a vacant house that's got nothing in it, you might want to stage it with some furniture, some plants, some vases, and there are people out there, that's what they do for their business, and you can hire them, the seller can hire them to stage a property, to make it look nice so people can come in and they get that warm feeling. And of course, I'm going to deviate from this list here because it's not on the list. I always tell folks more is less. When you look at a house, you go throughout that whole house or condo, and if it's got a lot of stuff, whether it be furniture, bookcases, all kinds of things, it's too much. Put it in the garage, get a storage place. Less is more. Just keep telling yourself that.
You mentioned garage, and that brings me to a pet peeve of mine. A lot of you folks have major sheds and workshops and the garage. Let's not forget to spruce that up as well, because people are going to want to see that woodshed.
Yes.
They're going to want to see that garage.
Yes.
Let's make sure to not forget to clean that up as well.
Yes. Okay, and that's all I've got for today.
Well, we covered a lot of ground. I think
we did.
Steve.
We went a little long, but I'm sorry, but that's all right.
No, I'm sure you guys are going to have questions and comments because we did cover a lot. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment, and we'll make sure to take care of that on the next one.
Call us if you have any questions or you need our services.
Little bit of a tease. Next week, we're going to be bringing in some finance people here, some experts to help answer a lot of questions that you've been having about financing purchases and things of that nature. So look for that next episode coming. Until then, thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Have an awesome day.
Bye.